Greyhound racing in County Galway has really taken off since the opening of the splendid new Galway Stadium. The jewel in the crown at the track is the Murdoch Holdings Golden Jacket, which was run for the first time last year and was won by CALLA Diamond. But we have a star-studded field chasing tonight's €35,000 prize. In Trap 1 is Full Bloom, a former UK racer that won the Paddy Power Derby Plate and is trained by Graham Holland. The first of PJ Fahey's two runners is Tyrer Laurel, and no greyhound more deserves to land a major triumph. Pat Buckley has enjoyed a great season, and his finalist is Slick Spiral, a dog that won the Tyre Lee Stake at Galway when known as Cool Down Jasper. Dennis O'Connell is the generous sponsor of tonight's big race, but he is also the joint owner, along with son Cian, of one of the big fancies, Murdoch's O'Shea. Brian McCann makes the journey from Wexford with Kerrydale Celt, and he is very strong over this distance. He'll be finishing fastest of all. On the outside, we have Tyre Lee, well into his 5th year, but a remarkable veteran. He has reached the final unbeaten for owner PJ Fahey.
Yes, indeed. Welcome to Galway for the final of the Murdoch Holdings Golden Jacket. Of course, the 2nd year of the stake. Michael, last year we saw CALLA Diamond, a tremendous winner. Hopefully this year we'll have an equally good winner. Tyre Lee, favourite in 6.
Yeah, absolutely. What really adds to this year is the fact that the local runners. Galway has gone greyhound mad in the last few years since this stadium was developed. They have 3 runners in the final tonight. 2 of the Tyres, Pat Malarkey and PJ Fahey, and Dennis O'Connell, who sponsors the stake, has Murdoch's O'Shea. So that really is building up. If a local winner here tonight, they'll go absolutely crazy.
They'll go absolutely berserk indeed. Of course, it is a bitterly cold evening here this evening. Will that play a part, I wonder?
Well, it can do, as we know. We see it every winter, dogs cramp and things like that. But I think there's no problem here tonight. It's fine. The track is in good condition. We've seen some good runs already, and we'll see more.
Of course, that's our last live race of this evening, as you can see from tonight's agenda. We've got loads of decent racing to look forward to. The semi-finals of the John Morris Track Bookmaker Stake are the first 2 races. Then we have the Open 525 and Open 575, and of course we finish with the final of the Murdoch Holdings Golden Jacket itself, the first big one on the night. But first we're going to look ahead to the first race in our card. It's due off at 29. It is the opening semi-final of the John Morris Track Bookmakers A1 Stake. And we have 1 non-runner in this race. Trap 3 Glenard Sunrise is a non-runner, so we have only 5 runners, and we're going to take a look through the runners for this, our opening race, live here on Greyhound View. The first dog we'll see is Mythical Vieri. Mythical Vieri, owned and trained by Thomas Flanagan, a very strong running son of Droopy's Vieri. He's won 4 from 10 starts, well drawn on the fence, but needs a slick exit. 2 on our card is Sizzling Sarah, trained by a very young trainer called Pat Guilfoyle, a very successful trainer, won the Oaks a couple of years ago, Miss Firecracker. This one, very well bred, decent type, but another one of the outsiders. 3 is actually a non-runner, Glenard Sunrise. Next we have Springwell Ben, Trap 4. This fellow, big early speed. He's won 9 of his 18 starts, and it's easy to see why. Despite being an inside seed, probably well drawn in 4 and could possibly set the pace here. For me, perhaps the one they have to beat. In 5 is Barn Tick Live. This is another one of the outsiders. He is a wide C, so technically well drawn in Trap 5, Barn Tick Live. He's won 3 of his 17 starts, but he is flanked by the 2 big fancies in this contest, and the last one we see is Skywalker Knight. Tipped on top of the card here at Galway, no doubt he'll be the tote favourite for that reason. He is a strong running performer, well housed in 6, and of course trained by Matt O'Donnell and Francis O'Donnell, so you know, he's certainly in good hands. This, a really fast dog, but it really is a very competitive contest. My own choice is for Springwell Ben. He flies to the corner. If he leads around the corner, well, he'll take some beating. So the choice is for Springwell Ben to beat 6 Skywalker Knight and 5 Barntick Live. It's like a fruit machine, but isn't greyhound racing like that. We're going to go with 4 though. Springwell Ben, and there is some logic behind my selection.
Scene set for what's going to be a very interesting night of racing here at Galway. The track is in fine condition despite the very frosty air around, and well, hopefully it will remain that way through the evening. Now this first race here where we come to, as Ian said, the John Morris Track Bookmaker A1 semi-final. In 1 is Mythical Vieri, owned by Tom Flanagan, this son of Droopy's Vieri, and Cold War Baby has won 4 from 10, this one here on the inside, and came with a very strong run to win late here last week. Number 1, Mythical Vieri. In 2 then we'll have Sizzling Sarah, which is owned by Emer and Dan Guilfoyle, trained by Pat Guilfoyle, a daughter of Razzle Dazzle Billy and Nifty Princess. Well, Pat Guilfoyle, as Ian was already told you, has enjoyed great success in the last few years. One of our younger trainers in the country, Pat. And Sizzling Sarah, fine performer too. She's won 1 of her 4 races and entitled to run a big race towards that inside rail. of course, what increases her chances is the fact that number 3, Glenard Sunrise, is an absentee in this race. And then we have in 4, Springwell Ben, owned by Dennis Hannon from Athlone. And well, Dennis Hannon is one of the great doyens of greyhound racing in the Midlands and Ireland. His Springwell prefix, well, they're known wide and far, and this Springwell Ben is another useful performer. He's won 9 of his 18 races, son of Hotshot Ben and Springwell Bessie. He's sure to play a major role. Even money, favourite currently. So as Dennis's dog moves out of the equation, we have then Barntig Live, who runs from trap 5 in this race. He's owned by, it's a bitch actually, a daughter of Larkill Joe and Live Bud, owned by Mary Reedy from Clare Castle. And Barntig Live is not the greatest striker, has won 3 from 17, but it has been placed second 4 times and third 4 times, always in the frame, or very regularly in the frame. 3-1 in the betting here, Barntig Live, and coming in for some support, but probably has it all to do in this contest. And so that brings us then to the last of the runners, that's Skywalker Knight, trained by Matt O'Donnell and owned by Matt down in Killinall, this son of Judicial Post and Druid's Judicial. And Matt has already had a winner here tonight at Galway, an impressive winner too. This one now 2-1 in the betting. And Skywalker Knight, 5 wins from 24, but has been in the first 3 on 14 occasions. Skywalker Knight, a wide seed, ideally housed here, and really running strongly to the end of his races here on his recent outings, running very well in the stake and clearly the one to beat. So now, having seen the 5 runners for this one, let's have a look at the betting with Rob Catterson.
Well, I'm here with sponsor and bookmaker John Morris. John, just the 5 going to traps for this first semi-final. What do you think?
We've already laid trap 4, Springwell Ben. He looks a guaranteed leader, best early in this race. I'm hoping one of the others will pick him up. 5 and 6 can both come home very strong. 4 a guaranteed leader. He looks the one.
It's been a good stake so far.
It's a good stake so far, yeah. The results have been favourable, thank God, so far. But
winning favourite here?
Hopefully not, no.
There you go, lads. Trap 4, Springwell Ben. The choice of the lads in the studio, even money favourite.
Indeed, Springwell Ben favourite down with the bookmakers. But trap 2 here, Sizzling Sarah, a young bitch with a bright future. We spoke to Pat Guilfoyle, her trainer, a little bit earlier on.
Nice draw. She's well drawn in too. She's only a March 07 bitch. She won her first race here in 29 seconds, so she went straight into A1. So she's going through kind of a transition period now where she's still learning, and yet she's to take on A1 back raiders. In trap 6 in the race, I think has won Heated Derby this year. She's only running her 3rd race, so it's testimony to kind of she's a tall task really, like, but she's in good form. She's a lovely, genuine young bitch. So again, she's one for next year, and like the other 2, we're using the stake kind of for experience for her really, like, you know.
Yes, well, that was Pat Guilfoyle, a young man with a big future in this game, and he's done a lot of things right in his early days in the game, including winning the Oaks with Miss Firecracker, and I'm sure he has many other big successes to come. Will one of them be Sizzling Sarah in this stake? The John Morris track bookmaker, A1 5-5. I was speaking to John a little bit earlier, and he's down there on the box, and well, a great supporter of greyhound racing, and well, he's been here at Galway Track for many, many years, and as I speak, he's now going 5-4 about number 4, Springwell Ben. The runners now coming up behind traps for this A1 semi-final winner here to receive €5,000 when the final is run next week, so we'll get a real guide to the form of that as we see these 2 races unfolding. Incidentally, Pat Guilfoyle has 2 more runners in the second semi-final, so 3 runners in all out of the 11 that are contesting these heats here tonight. So the runners now have been placed in traps for this one. The favourite, as we say, number 4 now, it's 6-4 in the ring, and it's 2-1 number 6, 3-1 5, 4-1 the top, and 6-1 number 2. Most of the runners now in. George here on the PA getting very excited as the runners are being put in traps. They're all in now for this 7th race, the first live TV race from Galway. And number 4, the favourite here, Springwell Ben. Now they're just checking, they're all okay. The 5 runners. Signal is given now, the bell goes, and in 1 here is Mythical Vieri, 2 Sizzling Sarah, trap 3 is vacant, in 4 Springwell Ben, 5 Barntig Live, and in 6 is Skywalker Knight. The hare now coming around the bend, up behind the traps, the favourite in 4 at 6-4. And away they're going, the favourites away well. Springwell Bend leads up from 2, Sizzling Sarah on the inside. And going around the corner, it's 4. The Springwell Bend, the favourite, gone clear now. A bit of bumping in behind as 1. Mythical Vieri moves into second, but it's 4. Springwell Bend out by 5 lengths from 1 Mythical Vieri in second. 6 Skywalker Knight is running on strongly to challenge for second. Cut off at the third bend, and surely that leaves it for Springwell Bend. The 1 is making ground in second, Mythical Vieri. Up the straight is number 4, Springwell Bend wins it, and 6 gets up for second. It's 4, 6 and 1. That's Springwell Bend winning it from Skywalker Knight and Mythical Vieri. The time just hasn't gone up yet, but that was a nice run there from Springwell Bend. A real professional performance. Came out of traps fast, took the bend by a good length and went on to win it. His lead was increased by trouble in behind on that opening corner, but that's the way a favourite should win. 6-4 at the off at the bookmakers, and they're looking at the tote, also 6-4 on the tote. So yes, Springwell Bend, as we see it now again, and Springwell Bend comes out well from 4, leads up from the bitch in 2, Sizzling Sarah. 1 on the inside, Mythical Vieri got a nice run through here as number 2 moved wide, bumped into 5 Barntig Live, and suddenly 1 Mythical Vieri had the width of the track to go through. Following her through also was 6 Skywalker Knight getting a run through on the inside. But now we see Springwell Bend, the son of Hot Show Ben and Springwell Bessie. That's 10 wins from 19 outings, a high-class performer for Dennis Hannon, and he's going to give him a mighty say too in the final in a week's time. But coming off that final bend, Springwell Bend out front, stride beginning to shorten that little bit. 1 is running on, 6 finishing strongly though, Skywalker Knight getting up for second place, but it's number 4, Springwell Bend, the winner of our opener here at Galway tonight. As we see now the shot on the line, and there he broaches the line. The winner, Springwell Bend. Second, coming home strongly, as I said, Skywalker Knight, number 6. And third, number 1, Mythical Vieri. Now we still wait for the time as we see the winner there being led back towards the kenneling area. That's Springwell Bend. He will be one of the favourites, obviously, for the final next week. The lineup for that final will be completed by our next race coming up here, which is the second semi-final of the John Morris Track Bookmaker A1 525.
Yes, indeed, we've just seen the opening race here from our live broadcast from Galway Stadium. A great race, Springwell coming through to score in fine style. But now we've seen some of the action on the track. Let's take a look to see what the stadium itself has to offer.
Superb location, 5 minutes walk from our square, 5 minutes and you're on to the inner ring road. It couldn't be better located.
The stadium is a hive of activity as the grounds are shared with Connacht Rugby. On match days, the action on the pitch is followed by the action on the track, and visitors can enjoy a full day of sporting action in the splendour of the Greyhound Stadium. The ground floor is a hive of activity. The video wall of screens provides a focal point where punters can view up-to-date betting and race information, as well as inter-track racing from Dublin. Placing a bet is made easy by helpful tote operators at convenient tote booths. The fast food area, aptly called Hungry Hounds, offers a quick snack, which is complemented by the bar facilities. There is easy access to trackside, where you can enjoy the action close up. Upstairs at Galway Greyhound Stadium, the modern image of greyhound racing is presented. Open plan, comfortable surroundings, extensive bar facilities, convenient tote booths, information screens, tiered seating, and of course excellent views of the on-track action. This area also caters for groups looking for a casual night out with some simple eating options. The restaurant has become renowned on the Galway social scene for providing quality food combined with a unique dining experience. It offers an extensive menu in comfortable surroundings and great views of the action. With tote information screens close to all tables and tote staff attending diners' table, there is ample opportunity to have a flutter. Dining in Galway Greyhound Stadium is a winning bet.
Incredible value for money. We have a €30 all-in plate in the bar. We have a €15 which involves a drink voucher and a food voucher and entrance all together. We're aiming for that market as well as the quality dining. One word, one line, party, party, party.
Well, just to confirm the result of our previous race there, 4 Springwell Bend the winner, 2nd Skywalker Knight, and 3rd was 1 Mythical Vieri. A fine run by the winner. We'll see the second semi-final after the break. Well, welcome back to the second part of the programme. We've already seen one top-class contest, more to come. But now let's turn our attention to the tote, which has taken on a new initiative in recent weeks. Let's take a look at their new look.
The Irish Greyhound Board in Shelbourne Park recently launched a new promotional campaign for the tote. It is designed to encourage regulars and newcomers alike not only to place a bet with the tote, but also try their luck at some of the many exciting combination and pool bets available. 4 themes were developed for visual impact, each based on the name of a particular bet, to create eye-catching posters. The Tote Win poster used the theme of the All-American Beauty Queen. The Tote Trio poster was based on a Parisian burlesque act. The Tote Forecast shows a gypsy fortune teller, while the Tote Pick 7 jackpot is the 7-armed Indian goddess. The fun-loving tote staff were even given the opportunity to grab a few minutes of fame in the process. Each of the girls featured in the posters actually work behind the tote on a regular basis at Shelbourne Park and Harold's Cross.
I think it's working very well. The fact that we've got some very beautiful ladies on the posters, and they're going over the different kinds of bets that you need to do to win the forecast and the trio, and they look very well. It's very new and very good for the Irish Greyhound Board to have such a campaign running.
They look brilliant. The girls look very well.
I think it's brilliant. The girls look gorgeous. Absolutely, people stop on the stairs all the time and stare.
For more information, why not log on to igb.ie.
In recent times, the IGB have been very active in both the education of greyhound trainers and in greyhound welfare. Earlier we spoke to Barry Coleman, but firstly we spoke to Niamh Kenny of Irish Greyhound Skillnet.
Well, the Greyhound Skillnet has run a lot of courses over the last 2 years, veterinary training and anatomy and physiology and so on. So as part of that, we've now succeeded in having the programme certified by Teagasc, and there's 4 modules approved up to FETAC level 5. So this is a fantastic opportunity for people to actually get a formal qualification in the greyhound industry, anatomy and physiology, health and safety, schooling young greyhounds, rearing and breeding and so on. And it's a good opportunity for young guys who want to come into the industry, but it's also a fantastic opportunity for those guys who are already involved for many years to get some formal recognition of their learning over the last number of years. So if you want any additional information, you should contact the Greyhound Skillnet website, www.greyhoundskillnet.com, or call 022 53407.
Well, Barry, lots of initiatives at the moment on the welfare front, and you have some interesting forms of, shall we say, fundraising this year and coming up here over the Christmas.
Yes, indeed. The Retired Greyhound Trust facilitates the rehoming of retired Irish racers, and throughout the year we've gone down the lines of fundraising, various forms. We had Noel O'Brien running in the Dublin Mini Marathon. We had Lorraine O'Brien, who organised a parachute jump in County Kildare. 16 volunteers jumped from the skies to raise money for the Retired Greyhound Trust.
No, you weren't one of those, were you? You dodged that one, did you?
I dodged that one, yeah. Jumping off a milk crate would be as far as I go now. But at the moment, coming up to Christmas and that, the Irish Greyhound Board have put together a gift pack, and that's currently on sale at various outlets through the Irish Greyhound Board website, the Greyhound and Pet World in Addyfield, greyhoundsdirect.ie, and also through the Irish Greyhound Board offices in Limerick. And the gift pack contains items of Irish Greyhound Board merchandising put into one pack. You have your beanie hat, your Irish Greyhound Board tie, a badge, luggage spotter, a pen, and 2 complimentary tickets to any of the Irish Greyhound Board stadia. And they're currently on sale for €45 at the moment, and €10 will go to the Retired Greyhound Trust for every pack sold.
Indeed, a very worthwhile cause, but now we're back to the live racing action. We're going to take a look at the second semi-final of the John Morris Track Bookmaker Stake. The first we see is Calca's Paddy, best line of form back here in May, 28.82, but on the last line of form, well beaten by Trap 6 Renine Beauty and has a bit to find. 2 is CALLA Princess, 5 wins from 15 starts, did do 28.93 here in the opening round, November 29th. We'll certainly need to reproduce that line of form. In 3 is I Can Man, trained by Pat Buckley, a top trainer. This fellow 29.19 the opening round, but well held perhaps on his latest lines of form, has a bit to find in terms of the clock. 4 is Live Wire, trained by that young upcoming trainer Pat Guilfoyle. He's won 8 times in his career. Noted staying on well in recent starts. Perhaps if the favourite in 6 slips up, this one could figure. 5 is Miss Firesparker, trained again by Pat Guilfoyle. Well bred, only 8 races on its card. May need to improve in recent lines of form, but can go up fast and could cause trap 6, Reneen Beauty, 1 or 2 problems to the corner. But this is a worthy favourite. A middle seed out in trap 6, can fly to the bend. A couple of the locals tell me earlier on this one is going to take a world of beating, and 1 or 2 Shrewdies took a nice bit of 2 to 1 available during the week with the bookmakers. Now we're going to lead to Michael for the parade.
Yes, well, Ian has mentioned them all there for this A1 second semi-final of this John Morris stake. And in trap 1 here is Calca's Paddy, which is owned by Peter Sheedy, trained by Shea Fahy, a son of Tux Main and Granard Tina, with a record of 6 wins from 29. A real specialist here around Galway, well drawn on the inside, but needs a fast start here. In fact, the start is going to be absolutely vital in this race. The 6 bitch, when I came in here first tonight, I met a very shrewd judge who said to me, there's one bet on the card tonight, that's Reneen Beauty in the 8th race. Said she's flying from the traps and she won't be beaten. Well, we'll soon see how that one works out. She's currently looking down in front of me here. She's even money on the boards. It's then 3 to 1 bar. And there we see number 2, CALLA Princess here, which is owned by Theresa Mitchell, a daughter of Indian ruler and Kapula Dream. 5 wins from 15 for this one, running on strongly in its races and sure to be doing most of that running from the halfway mark. Then in 3 we have I Can Man, which represents that formidable team of Pat Buckley and owner Philip Heffernan, a son of Yeman and Barbie's Bluebird. And I Can Man has won 4 from 8, a good strike rate in this, and ran well last week when running on strongly in 2nd place behind Springwell Ben, which won that last race here. This one is currently 3 to 1 on the bookmakers' boards. Then in 4, Livewire, owned by the MGC Syndicate, trained by Pat Guilfoyle, one of his 2 runners here. Both of these are by Drupi's Maldini out of Ockavas. Livewire has a real good strike rate of 8 wins from 21 and has been placed in 15 races all told. So Livewire you can expect to be in the first 3. Also does his best running from halfway. In 5, this is his little sister, Miss Firesparker, which is owned by Pat himself, Pat Guilfoyle, and has won 3 out of 8. In fact, has only been out of the first 3 on 1 occasion. She's currently 5 to 1 in the betting here, Miss Firesparker, but she was only beaten very narrowly by Mythical Vieri last week and was only caught very close home. So she's one of the likely leaders here. But the way they talk about this one, Reneen Beauty, well, she's the one that's going to win it, owned by Gordon Nolan and Mike Finn, trained by Morris Malani, a daughter of Top Poncho and My Beauty. Very, very consistent performer. Flies some traps, well drawn here, and the locals are in a big way. And now, Rob, what way is the betting going? Is 6 as short as it's threatened to be?
Going favourite here.
Yeah, I can't get him. Can't get the bottom at 2 to 1. I badly need to get him. 3 is a disaster. We laid 4,000 to 1 and laid him again at 3s. So we don't want 3 at the moment.
Plenty of money?
Yeah, loads of money. Loads of money, yeah.
And what are you calling the winner?
Anton Bar 3 will do me, but I think it's wide open. 3 can be slow away. Hopefully he is again tonight.
There you go, lads. Trap 6, 2 to 1 favourite to win the second semi-final.
John Morris has really put the 6th one out now to 5 to 2 from evens. So there's a massive change here in the betting on this particular race. The runners now going to traps for this one. We have 5 to 2 joints now, 3 and 6. It's then 4 to 1 number 2, 5 to 1 numbers 1 and 4, and 8 to 1 number 5. So the last of the runners being put in for this one. We know the first 3 for the final next week. 5,000 for the final of this John Morris track bookmark A1525. We'll shortly know the other 3. Reneen Beauty, this is the big story of the night. The major drift on this one now. 5 to 2 now, joint favourite with number 3, and 3 has gone 2 to 1 in places. So number 3 is probably going to end up the favourite for this one, as they're all in traps now. The steward making sure that everything is okay. Very shortly the signal will be given, the bell will ring, and away we go. So the bell rings for this 8th race, the second semi-final. In 1, Calca's Paddy, 2, CALLA Princess, 3, I Can Man, 4, Livewire, and 5, Miss Firesparker, and 6 is Reneen Beauty. As the hare comes around the bottom bends now, coming up behind the traps. Ready for off. And away they go, and it's a pretty level start. The favourite didn't come away well, or the original favourite, and it's 3, I Can Man. It was the one the money came for. Leads on the corner with 5, Miss Firesparker on the outside, 2 on the inside, CALLA Princess. I Can Man runs wide, 2, CALLA Princess moves up, and the CALLA Princess is taking it up, going to the 3rd bend. 3, I Can Man comes back, still, the bump between them, and 2, CALLA Princess leads onto the final bend. 1 on the outside, Calca's Paddy putting in a run, but it's 2, CALLA Princess up to 2, CALLA Princess to winner. 2nd is 3. 3, I Can Man, and third, number 1, Calcas Paddy. The time goes up, it's 28.76. 28.76 there. So CALLA Princess, well supported in the market, or well, reasonably well supported in the market. The favourites were 3 and 6, and 3 looked to have every chance leading to the corner, but the 2, Bitch was on the inside, this daughter of Indian Ruler, Derby finalist a few years back. Indian Ruler, he was a Galway-based dog himself, and well, this one has run nicely here to win this race, owned by Teresa Mitchell from Roundstone. There you see CALLA Princess, this Juno 6 whelp, winning her 6th of 16 races as to come out of traps there. 2 comes away well, so does 3, but 6 is slowly away, Rhyming Beauty. Into the corner, 3 I Can Man leads from 2 CALLA Princess. Now number 3 drifts that bit wide off the corner there and gives away considerable ground and leaves a lovely gap for 2 CALLA Princess. She goes up to challenge down the back. And now this is where it gets interesting. Into the third bend, it looks as if I Can Man is going to cut off number 2 again here on the third bend. Bump there between them. That finishes number 3, and 2 CALLA Princess goes on. 1 on the outside is putting in a run. 6 Rhyming Beauty trying to get into it, but up front it's 2. That's CALLA Princess galloping on strongly. The fastest time of the heats as well, and CALLA Princess moves on and goes through to the final and well, take a little bit of beating, followed there by 3 I Can Man. There we see that reverse or shot of number 2 CALLA Princess winning. Now the other placings will be interesting. Number 3 is second, and number 1 Calcas Paddy on the outside takes third. So 2, 3 and 1 the result there. CALLA Princess, I Can Man and Calcas Paddy. And there you see the winner, CALLA Princess, owned by Teresa Mitchell from Roundstone. Now going forward for the final, and there's a prize of $5,000 on that one. There's the result. The winner, number 2 CALLA Princess at 4-1. Second, number 3 I Can Man at 5-2. And third, number 1 Calcas Paddy at 5-1. The time 28.76.
Yes, indeed, a fine display there by CALLA Princess. One of the outsiders, but judging by the cheers here, a few people were on. Join us in the second or the next part of the programme for more top-class racing. We're into the open stuff hereafter. Well, the group you can hear me behind me are from Salerno Secondary School. They're actually the first years, and I'm with June Smith of Salerno Secondary School. You held a benefit meeting back here in October. I believe a very successful night.
It was absolutely brilliant, and the staff all became involved, and it really, the girls, we had a huge crowd here, and the girls haven't stopped talking about it since. So when we were asked to have a choir here tonight, it was just really great. They were delighted.
Now tell me about the benefit night here. It was for cystic fibrosis.
It was, yes. We sadly we lost a pre-leaving cert student last year to cystic fibrosis, and the girls wanted to do something in our memory. So that's what we did, and it was a great success.
And will you be back in the future?
Oh, try stopping us. We can't wait for the next one.
Well, the girls are doing you proud tonight.
They are indeed. They always do. That's what's good about Salerno.
Well, there you have it. We're going to listen to the girls signing off, but they're only one benefit that have held nights here at Galway Track. Let's take a look at some of the other groups to hold benefits here in the last while.
St Michael's GA Club, they are based here in the west side of Galway City. They would have, we have a juvenile club starting from teams at under 8 all the way up to intermediate level. We built our clubhouse in 2005. Our biggest single fundraising night was the night at the Dogs. We cleared about 40,000. I think a dog night is a great way of raising money, because first and foremost, for instance, the Buster night that's coming up, it will introduce 720 people to the night in question.
January the 17th we're having another night. It's called a Busker night, which entails selling 720 tickets to members of the club and families and friends. And it's good entertainment where everyone can join in the fun of the club.
The school was built originally in 1961. Our numbers have grown drastically in the last few years, and 3 years ago we realised that we wouldn't have enough space for all the children who were enrolled in the school. So we decided that we'd have a fundraiser, and the best way we thought was a night at the Dogs, which would mean that the whole community could get together, have a fun night out and collect money for the school at the same time. On the night itself, of course, it was brilliant because the children were in there and their parents, and they had a ball. It was a great night. So we actually raised 41,000, at our Night at the Dogs, which was a huge help.
Mervyn United was founded in 1960, and at the present day it has 26 teams, 22 of them underage boys and girls. It's a big community, and in this facility that we're in today, over 3,500 people go through it every week. We've done 3 nights in the Galway Greyhound track, huge benefit nights for the club, and we've raised over 150,000 euros over the 3 nights. And as you can see, looking at the facilities, it has helped us to provide these wonderful facilities at Mervyn United. It has also been a great night for social night. It has all helped us to bring our sponsors and our club members who work weekly on our lotto, that we could bring them out and give them a night out. And the benefit night we held there lately, where we raised over 30,000, that will go towards paying for the floodlights. Mervyn United are so happy with their benefit nights that we will be coming back in the next year or so again to do another one.
Back in now to the live action here at Galway. Our next race is an open 525, the O'ConnellDryline.com 525. We're going to take a look at the first of our runners. This is Ronnie's Hustle. Had a spell in England, but since he's come back to Ireland, more known for his 575 and 600 yards run, perhaps would want further, may need a little bit of luck. Into Target Cool, this fellow, the Northwest Derby winner, a dog with fine speed from start to finish. If he hits the lids, well, he could take a world of beating here. 3 is Danmar Pudsey, of course, this one, the Newbridge Oaks winner. If she happens to go on and win the Sporting Press Oaks next year, 75 grand in her pocket bonus, let alone all the extra prize money she's going to get. She's a decent type, she can go to the bend well. In 4, we have the reserve Blaze Away Honcho. This dog is, well, big runs around Tralee, 28.46 and 28.52 back in, earlier in the years. Recent form, out of luck, but you never know if you hit the lids, you never know. 5 is So Determined, a former Derby finalist, believe it or not. Getting on a bit now, but still retains plenty of ability, maybe one of the outsiders. And in 6, we have Riverside Kid. This fellow has some fine runs around the likes of Tralee, Cork and Clonmel. Well-drawn stripes, not without a chance, but for me it's between 2 and 3, Target Cool and Danmar Pudsey. Let's join Michael for the parade.
Yes, well, a very interesting race coming up. This is the first of our opens here tonight, and, well, a very competitive one, and Target Cool must be the favourite for this one. A very, very consistent racer from the Pat Buckley kennel, noted for his early pace. He went out early in the Tote Gold Collar at Harold's Cross, where he missed the start. There he is. Sorry, that's Ronnie's Hustle we start with first, which is owned by R. Davis and Jay Coyne, trained by Jerry O'Donoghue. Son of Premier Fantasy and Blackpool Mover. Ronnie's Hustle would be better off, as Ian said, with a longer trip than this. In 2 here, then we have the obvious favourite in Target Cool, which is trained by Pat Buckley for Craig Dawson and Norman Hook. And Target Cool, a son of Droopy's Cool and Lady Ehrman, noted for his fast starting, good early pace. He's the dog that beat College Causeway, his kennel companion, in that Northwest Derby final, but he's the one to beat here. Did go out at the Tote Gold Collar at Harold's Cross, surprisingly, in the first round, missed the start on that occasion and lost his chance. There's 3, Danmar Pudsey, owned by Danny Potter, who's a brother-in-law of PJ Fahey's, hence the breeding here. Droopy Scolds at a Tower Fiona, won the Newbridge Oaks recently down in Newbridge, and you've already heard the bonus that's awaiting this one. Also ran very well in Thurles in the Champion Bitch Stake. In 4, we have Blaze Away Honcho here, coming in as a reserve, useful performer, owned by Pat Fearick from Feathered, a son of Top Honcho and Drumrow Rita, strong finisher also, and although has been known to go up well at times too, some very good running around Tralee in the stake down there, and on his best form would come into it from trap 4, probably an ideal draw. One of last year's top performers was So Determined, and he reached the Derby final. This year hasn't gone so well for him. He's owned by Dennis O'Connell, the sponsor of the big race here tonight at Galway, and trained by Francis O'Donnell, a son of Larkill Joe and Have It On. So Determined is always capable of bouncing back to that top form of last year. And in 6 is Riverside Kid, trained by Graham Holland, who has had a great season yet again, owned by Darren Lowies. This one a son of Droopy's Maldini and Maple Leaf Girl. And Riverside Kid, a good strike rate, 9 wins from 24, well drawn in 6 with that W tag on him. Also the wide seat, of course, is So Determined in 5. But Robert, what's happening down in the ring?
Well, I'm here with Ray Ruan down the end. Ray, it looks an open betting heat.
Well, no, 2 is a strong favourite here. He won the Northwest Derby, should win. Got knocked out of the big stake here. He's down in trip. He'll be the one that the money is for. He's the class dog of the race.
Expecting him to win?
Yes, he should win. 2 should win.
There you go, lads. Target Cool, even money favourite for Pat Buckley in this open contest.
Yes, indeed, there were the few of the bookmakers. Trap 2, Target Cool, the hot favourite. But we spoke to the legendary Matt O'Donnell. He's responsible for Trap 5 here. So determined to see what his thoughts were.
He's in good form. He's in tremendous form, but he's a dog that's after getting a lot of injuries. And he's okay tonight, and I hope he'll run well.
We all know how good he is. On his best form, he'd have a right chance.
He would, but he's getting old. He's like myself now, he's getting old. But he's still there, he must have a chance.
Yes, well, when Matt says he must have a chance, well, he certainly has a chance. But, well, Target Kuhl looks the one. He's 6-4 now in the ring here. Evens in places. 6-4 with numbers 3 and 6 at 3-1. It's then 4-1 numbers 1, 4 and 5. That's the ladies' show just in front of us here on the boards as the runners now being put in traps for this 9th race. €1,000 for the winner of this. O'ConnellDrylining.com 525. Good money for a good open contest here. And, well, these have been running for the past year in good company. They'll be running in open company again next year, most of them. And Target Kuhl certainly had a rich payday in Lifford when he beat College Causeway, that shock by half a length in the Northwest Derby. So the runners here on its way. There you hear the bell. In 1, Ronnie's Hustle. 2, Target Kuhl. 3, Danmar Pudsey. In 4, Blazeaway Honcho. 5, So Determined. And 6 is Riverside Kid. The break is so vital for number 2, Target Kuhl. He normally hits it. He's 6-4 in the ring. Here now behind the traps, and away to go, and he's away quite well. He's racing to the corner. He's just in front from 4, Blazeaway Honcho. It's 2, Target Kuhl, just on the inside, takes the paint off the inside rail. He's chased now by 1, Ronnie's Hustle. He's a strong finisher. 4 is next. That's Blazeaway Honcho as they head down towards the third bend. It's Target Kuhl in front. 4 now moves into second, Blazeaway Honcho. Then comes 1, Ronnie's Hustle. 6, Riverside Kid just in behind. But Target Kuhl is still out front, and he has stayed 550, and he's out front here and going away now up the straight, number 2, Target Kuhl. The favourite does this nicely. It's 2, 1 and 4. That's Target Kuhl from Ronnie's Hustle and Blazeaway Honcho. That pair alternated in second place through the race, but it was Target Kuhl that got away slickly and led all in a fast time of 28.61. Now we'll have another look at this one as we see the break. Target Kuhl doesn't fly out, but he comes away with them, and that early pace just gets into the bend. 4 on his outside, Blazeaway Honcho. 1 on the inside, Ronnie's Hustle. They're well positioned, but Target Kuhl is around the corner in front, leads. 4 runs very wide, Blazeaway Honcho. Brings 6, Riverside Kid with him. And now Target Kuhl, what, a length and a half in front down the far side. 1, Ronnie's Hustle, being passed now by 4, Blazeaway Honcho. They were to change positions again on the run in, but it's Target Kuhl out front, just that little over a length to Blazeaway Honcho on the bottom bend. But from here, Target Kuhl really storm clear. He gets every inch of this and further, and it's Target Kuhl racing on to win it. Ronnie's Hustle comes back into second place running on. He would have fared better over 5.75 had he been in it here tonight. There's number 3, Danmar Pudsey. She was in the wars in the race, but no doubt about it, Target Kuhl trained by Pat Buckley for Craig Dawson and Norman Hook, a son of Droopy's Kuhl and Lady Ehrman, the winner of this O'ConnellDrylining.com 525. And there you see the result. The winner, Target Kuhl, the 6-4 favourite. Second, number 1, Ronnie's Hustle at 4-1. And third, number 4, Blazeaway Honcho at 4-1. The time 28.61.
Yes, indeed, yet another fine display. Target Kuhl justifying favouritism in flying style, the Northwest Derby winner. Hopefully, plenty more top-class racing action after the break. Join us there. Well, welcome back to Greyhound View Live. Of course, loads of more brilliant racing to look forward to here tonight, including the final of the Murdoch's Holdings Golden Jacket. But last night in Curraheen Park in Cork, there was another major final. That was the Tiny's Bud Open 550. Let's take a look at the action.
They're boxed for the 2008 final of the Tiny's Bud Open 550. In 1, St. Luke. In 2, Palmetto Dunes. In 3, Carib King. In 4, the favourite Callum's Lad. In 5, Good Boy Earl. And in 6, Decent Prospect. And away they go in the favourite in trap 4. Callum's Lad is away well and leads up by 2 lengths as they go to the opening bend. From in second place on the inside, trap number 2, Palmetto Dunes, who runs slightly off the bend and beginning to swing down the back straight. In front is the jolly old favourite, that's Callum's Lad, that's out in front by 2 lengths. From in second place, Palmetto Dunes is beginning to close, and third is the 3, and that is Carib King, but beginning the exit of the back straight. In front by a length and a half is the favourite, and that is Callum's Lad, that leads from in second place, trap number 2, Palmetto Dunes, but off the home turn, Callum's Lad looks in control, racing towards the line. It's the John Kiley trained Callum's Lad that draws away to win. From in second place, Palmetto Dunes, with third trap 3, Carib King, the time 29.68. And the result of the 2008 Tiny's Bud Open 550, first trap 4, Callum's Lad, second trap 2, Palmetto Dunes, and in third trap 3, Carib King, the time 29-68.
Yes, indeed, a fine display there by Callum's lad, winning for John Kiley. But also on the card at Curryheen Park, we had a new event. It was an inter-track challenge between Tralee, Cork and Limerick tracks. It promised to be a thrilling contest.
Basically, there are 5 races over 3:35 to 5:50, 5:75 and 7:50. And each stadium has 2 runners in each event, and the points are giving accordingly 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 in the order that the dogs finish in each race. At the end of the night, all the points are calculated, and the winning stadium, they get a trophy. They also get €2,000, which goes to sponsor 2 sweepstakes for graded dogs at their own stadiums.
And the result of the first heat of the Greyhound and Pet World Intertrack Challenge: first, Trap 3 Prematurus representing Limerick; second, Trap 1 Compass Mikey representing Cork; and third, Trap 4 Tarbrook Henry also representing Limerick. And it's a second victory for the Limerick track, as Melody's Comet representing that track defeats number 5 Inslips Ideal representing Cork, with the Tralee representative Ruby Blues in third place, leaving the aggregate score after 2 rounds. Limerick leading the way on 17 points, followed by Cork on 14, with Tralee in third place on 10 points.
It's great fun. I mean, it was nice to meet people that I hadn't met for quite some time, and that's more the family orientation of greyhound racing. A lot of the Limerick fellas would know Cork lads from meeting them through dogs and the GA, so they enjoyed themselves tonight.
And Heat 3 of the Intertrack Challenge sees maximum points for Cork track, as Trap 5 Rebel Brett defeats Trap 2 Kyo's King, with Trap 4 Steeple Road Rocco representing Tralee in third place. And with an even spread of the points in the fourth heat, as Cork's Francis Fantasy defeats the Tralee representative II Pickle into second place, with Trap 5 Fua Nevada in third place for Limerick. The aggregate scores going into our final heat sees the Cork track leading the way on 32 points, 3 clear of Limerick on 29, with Tralee in rear dropping away on 22 points.
Okay, this is a novel idea tonight that Frank O'Connell has come up with. It's the Intertrack Challenge, and it's putting the best Kerry dogs against the best Cork and Limerick dogs on a night, and so far it's been very successful, and the racing managers are here and they're all shouting on their team and their dogs, and it's going to make a great night.
All boxed up for the concluding heat of the Intertrack Challenge. And away they go, and well away on the outside, the striped jacket of Chicken Supper leads. From in second place, trap number 2, that's Razzle Dazzle Dennis representing Limerick, but it's the Cork dog in front, that's Chicken Supper, that leads by 2.5, 3 lengths as they turn down the back straight. From in second place, trap number 1, that's Queen's Rock, and in front as they go down towards the third bend is trap number 6, Chicken Supper, and Cork seem to have a stranglehold in this heat, as in second place is trap number 1, Queen's Rock, beginning the swing for the judge in front. The striped jacket of Chicken Supper is out in front by 2.5 lengths, and the Greyhound and Pet World Intertrack Challenge is on its way to the Curryheen Park team, as Chicken Supper defeats in second place trap number 1, Queen's Rock, with in third for Limerick, Razzle Dazzle Dennis. The finishing totals of the finals of the Greyhound and Pet World Intertrack Challenge: Cork top of the board on 43 points, in second place Limerick on 36, and in third place Tralee on 25 points.
The biggest problem I had was obviously trying to pick which dogs, and obviously you're not going to keep everyone happy, but it worked out okay in the end, I think we weren't going to leave Limerick and Tralee come here and beat us, and we're proud here, we're not going to give up that easy, so we were very lucky. We got a very good team. Dogs ran really well. We had a bad start all right in the sprint, and we were kind of saying we had a bit of catching up to do in Limerick, but touch would have worked out okay in the end.
Tonight, but now we have a fine open 575 contest to look forward to here tonight at Galway. First we see Shane Boy Sophia, a fast finisher, but she may struggle in the early stages. Into OAKLEAF, perhaps the outsider of the party here. He really needs to produce his very best form if he's to worry the judge. 3 Doobie's Teabag, a dog with brilliant early speed, a likely leader in 3. Will they catch him? That's the big question. 4 TOLEDO James may edge inwards in the from trap 4, may suit traps 5 and 6. 5 is OAKLEAF Tom. I know he's plenty of supporters. He'll be finishing fast. He's a real powerhouse. And 6 Imal Master, another dog with big pace from the second bend. He too won't be too far away. It's between 3, 5 and 6 in my opinion. I'm going to go with 3 to lead all. Let's join Michael for the parade.
Yes, the Eurobeat.ie 575, very interesting contest. Here's a smashing bitch called Shane Boy Sophia. She's 4-1. She's owned by Owen Kiley, daughter of Druppies Fieri, and Shane Boy Road. She'll be finishing strongly this one. In 2 then we have Aham Light, which hails from Tubbercurry in County Sligo, owned by Luke Kilcoyne, who's been in this game for a long time, put a lot of good dogs through his hands. This one, the son of Board of Life and Lisette, very consistent performer, has won 9 from 28, and I'm sure Luke will have this fella on his toes here tonight. In 3 then is Droopy's Teabag. This is a dog who started very well the early part of the year, owned by Vincent and Mike McKenna, trained by Pat Buckley, a son of Droopy's Maldini and Droopy's Bridie. And Droopy's Teabag is capable of a flying start. If he gets one of those big starts, he's going to take a lot of beating here. In 4 then we have Toledo James, and as Ian has already referred to, this fellow inclined to move for the inside of the start, trained by Francis O'Donnell for Martin Murray and Seamus Minahan, a son of Droopy's Agassi and Toledo Nikita, and he's just won 5 of 24 outings. He's at all to do here, but he could play a vital role in the race. Then in 5 is a dog I give a very sneaky chance to here. That's OAKLEAF Tom, which is owned by Eddie Dunn, or trained by Eddie Dunn for the Paddy's Day Syndicate. A dog, a very strong finisher, this fella, a son of Hondo Black and Michaela's Wish, and don't worry if he's not in the first 2 down the back, because he'll be motoring from that final bend. In 6, a dog that's always involved in the battle, Immel Master. He's owned by Catherine Walsh. He's a son of Pinewood Blue in allocation. This is a dog that can go up well and stay strongly. He'll be involved, have no doubt about that one. So we saw there even money about Droopy's Teabag. I wonder, Robert, is there any support for OAKLEAF Tom in this one?
An open race. Most of these ran, 4 of these ran in the big stake. This is a kind of consolation for them. The money is for 5. The early paces with 3, probably 3 or 5.
You gave us the winner of the last. What'll win this?
I'd say 3. It's an open race. Say possibly 3.
There you have it, lads. Open enough race. We'll leave this one to you guys in the studio.
Yes, well, that's the scene down there in the ring as the runners are now making their way towards traps for this one, the Eurob.ie 575. It's an open enough betting fair, and the money has come all right for OAKLEAF Tom. He's now in at 2-1, I see, down in the ring with number 3. That's Toledo James at 9-4, so very close between this pair and the betting. 6 Immel Master at 3-1 as we see the runners now being put in traps here. That's number 1 Shane Boy Sophia. She'll be first in on the inside. That's Owen Kiley's bitch, and well, young Owen Kiley, one of the younger owners around the country, and well, a lot of young people own dogs nowadays, whether they're given them by their parents or whatever, but it maintains a great interest for them. There's Droopy's Teabag going in the middle, trained by Pat Buckley. Fast dog. On the outside 5, OAKLEAF Tom has just gone in. Sure, Eddie Dunn has this fella in fair order. Eddie, who trains just outside Longford. Then we have 2, 4 and 6 going in last. There 2 is Luke Kilcoyne. He won't need any assistance in putting his in. He's been doing it for a long number of years. 4 Toledo James from the Matt O'Donnell's Kennels and Francis. And in 6 Immel Master. He's the one, could be the bogey for them all in this race. A strong running greyhound, can go up faster, can finish. He's always there, thereabouts. Now they're all in. The steward will have a look at the traps now to see how they are for this 5-7-5-yard contest. Promises to be quite a race. The bell goes. And in 1 here we've Shane by Sophia, 2 is Aham Light, 3 Droopy's Teabag, 4 Toledo James, 5 OAKLEAF Tom, and 6 is Immel Master. Here now coming around behind the traps. Very shortly now the traps will rise. And away they go to a pretty level start. 2 Aham Light well away. 3 Droopy's Teabag now goes up well. 6 on the outside, Immel Master around that opening bend, and it's 3 out front. That's Droopy's Teabag from 4 Toledo James. Then comes 2 Aham Light and 5 OAKLEAF Tom starting to run, although he seemed to check at that point. And it's number 3, that's Droopy's Teabag showing the way from 4 Toledo James in second. Then comes 2 Aham Light off the final bend, and it's number 3 out front. Droopy's 5 is pulled up injured. I knew something happened to him on the back head. It's 3 and 4. 3 Droopy's Teabag, 4 Toledo James, and it looks as though 6 Immel Master is third. The time 31:44. Well, an eventful race there, and tragic to see number 5 OAKLEAF Tom pulling up there injured. You can see he did check slightly on the back straight. I think the damage might just have started at that point, and then his leg appears to have given coming around that final bend. Now as we watch this race again from traps, it's a pretty level start. 3 is out well, Droopy's Teabag. On the inside is 2 Aham Light.